What if life gave you one chance to love a man before knowing he was rich? Would you pass the test? Engines roared. Tires screeched. And then splash. Dirty rainwater shot up from the ground like a small wave and slapped across the security guard's uniform. Morning sun glinted off the estate's golden gate as the driver sped in without slowing down. A sleek SUV, black like fresh tar, rolled forward proudly. Inside sat a young woman in oversized sunglasses, phone in hand, laughing loudly at something on her screen. She didn't spare him a glance. Kayode blinked twice, wiped his face, and straightened his shoulders. Another day at the gate, another reminder that power can make hearts blind. He wasn't just any security guard. Beneath the faded uniform and dusty boots rested a truth only he knew, a truth wealthier than the lifestyles inside that estate. But here, in this dusty corner of Lagos, he had traded riches for humility, testing hearts like an African folktale brought to life, searching for sincerity, not flattery. "Good morning, madam," he murmured politely. The SUV window slid down halfway. She raised a manicured hand, only to wave him off like a fly. "Next time, clean that puddle," she snapped before rolling the window up again. Kayode exhaled slowly. The day had just begun. The estate was a world of marble houses, tropical flowers, privilege floating in the air like perfume. But the gate was where masks fell. Voices sharpened. Entitlement danced freely. The second car arrived, a silver sedan. The lady behind the wheel frowned before he even approached her. "You're slow," she hissed. "Do you think I have the whole day?" "Apologies, Ma," he said, lifting the barrier. She eyed him from head to toe. "Next time, be faster." As she drove past, the smell of luxury perfume trailed behind her. Sweet, sharp, a reminder of distance between status and humanity. Third encounter came from a fitness enthusiast returning from her morning jog. Earphones plugged, sweat glistening on her forehead, muscles toned. "Good morning, Ma," Kayode greeted. She didn't remove her earphones. She simply glanced at him like he was invisible and kept walking, water bottle tucked to her chest, eyes focused ahead as if acknowledging him would reduce her calories. Then came the influencer. Ring light in the passenger seat, phone mounted in front of her. She slowed down, pretending she wanted to scan her entry tag. Then her voice rose, sharp and irritated. "Can you just do your job properly?" She snapped loudly, ensuring her followers heard. "Some people are just not serious." Kayode swallowed his response. She drove in, smiling back into her camera. Online kindness, offline arrogance, another life lesson in disguise. Last came a woman in corporate attire, dark glasses, posture stiff with pride. She dropped a stack of sealed papers on the dusty ground. "Pick that up and take it to Unit 6, she ordered. Quickly. Kayode bent slowly, dust rising around him. "Yes, Ma." She clicked her tongue as she lounged in her car. "Your hands are dusty. Don't touch the car door." The gate closed behind her with a soft metallic hum. Silence returned. Kayode stood still for a moment. Dust on his trousers, sweat at his temple, but his eyes remained steady, calm, like a man who knew storms reveal character. He wasn't here for pity. He wasn't here for applause. He was here for truth. Love without gold. Loyalty without wealth. A heart that sees beyond uniform and sweat. So he smiled faintly to himself and whispered, "One day the gate will open differently." And just like that, his test continued. Late afternoon, the lagoon breeze rolled in gentle waves across the estate entrance. The smell of fresh suya drifted from a roadside vendor. Kayode stood tall, gaze fixed on the road when a taxi pulled up. Out stepped a young woman balancing a luggage bag and a cooler. She looked around with curious eyes, not sharp like the others, not filled with pride. Her expression held warmth and wonder, the way someone looks when entering a new chapter. "Good afternoon, sir," she greeted, smiling softly. "Sir." He blinked, surprised. That word at the gate felt like sunlight after rain. "Welcome," he replied quietly. "Visiting someone?" "My sister," she nodded. "She lives inside. I just relocated to Lagos." Her voice carried grace, her tone respectful. She didn't rush. She didn't judge. Her aura felt like home-cooked food, warm, simple, genuine. She tried dragging her bag. It wobbled. Kayode stepped forward. "Let me help you." "Ah, thank you." She looked relieved, not entitled. "God bless you." The words dripped sincerity. He carried her luggage to the security register. She signed in steady handwriting. "Name?" "Anita," she replied. "Anita Olayemi." As he escorted her luggage towards the gate entrance, a passing resident eyed her dramatically. "You're new here?" the woman asked coldly. "Yes, ma. My sister stays inside." The woman's eyes flickered to Kayode helping her. A small scoff escaped her lips before she walked away, heels clicking like tiny hammers on tiles. Anita ignored her. Instead, she turned to Kayode again. "Thank you for helping me," she repeated. "I just started my small food business. I do catering. I make snacks too." "That's great," he replied. "May it grow." She smiled and pushed open the cooler slightly. Fresh aroma of jollof rice floated out. "You haven't eaten, right?" she asked. Caught off guard, he hesitated. "Ah, I'm fine," she laughed softly. "Fine means hungry." She handed him a food container. "Take, please." Kayode held the warm pack, silence filling his chest. Not sadness, but something gentle, appreciation, hope. "Thank you," he whispered. As she walked inside, her steps light and steady, Kayode watched her disappear into the estate like a quiet answer to a long prayer. Evening came. Anita returned from errands carrying empty food containers. She stopped again. "You're still here," she smiled. "Yes." She handed him puff puff wrapped in paper. "Evening dose," residents whispered nearby. Imagine being friends with the gate man. So local. Village mentality. Anita heard them. Her chin lifted slightly. Not pride, but strength. "It costs nothing to be kind," she said simply. Kayode swallowed the warmth rising in him. This wasn't just kindness. It was rare sincerity. As night lights flickered on across the estate, Kayode felt something shift, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet spark. For the first time since starting this test, someone saw him. Not the uniform, not the dust, him. Above the estate gate, the security light hummed. Under it, a silent promise formed. A gate opens both ways, one for entry, one for destiny. And Destiny had just walked in with a cooler and a smile. The next few days unfolded like sunrise, steady, warm, predictable. Every morning, Anita walked out of the estate with her food cooler balanced carefully, her apron tied neatly, spices lingering around her like perfume. And every morning she paused at the gate. "Good morning, Mr. Kayode," she'd say, bright like she was greeting a king. He never got used to it. Respect is loud when you've lived around quiet dismissal. She always had a small food container ready. Jollof one day, moi moi and pap another. Fresh meat pie on Friday morning, wrapped neatly in brown paper like a precious gift. "You'll need energy before trouble starts," she would tease. The trouble came on schedule. One afternoon, a group of young ladies dressed like they were always heading to a beach. Party or a fashion shoot spotted Anita chatting with Kayode at the gate. "See this one," one whispered loudly. "Forming friendliness with the gate man." Another smirked. "Maybe she's using food to buy relevance." A chuckle. A hair toss. A moment designed to sting. Anita didn't flinch. She simply handed Kayode his food and smiled. "Don't worry, I'll go hot one day," she said under her breath. Not out of spite, but calm knowing. Kayode almost laughed. A real, full laugh he hadn't felt in months. But he held it in, only nodding. "Thank you." As she left, a delivery rider approached, aggressive and impatient. "Oga, open gate door." "Aide, hurry!" the rider barked. "You need to call the resident first," Kayode replied politely. The rider rolled his eyes. "I beg shift. I don't deliver here before. I no get time for this." He kicked the gate lightly in frustration. Before Kayode could say more, Anita turned back. "Excuse me," she said firmly. "He's doing his job." Call the person you're delivering to. Her voice was calm, no shouting, no ego. Just truth with backbone. The writer paused, muttered something, then dialed. Kayode saw it clearly now. This was not ordinary kindness. It was grounded, brave, rooted in self-respect. As the sun set each day, Anita returned, tired but cheerful. She always left an extra pastry, extra swallow, extra stew. "This is too much," Kayode once said softly. She shrugged. Some people collect love in flowers. Some collect it in food. Her words lingered like warm smoke in cool dusk air. That evening, as she walked away, her laughter trailing faintly, Kayode leaned back in his chair. He had seen women chase after wealth like birds chasing crumbs. He had watched smiles change when wallets closed. He had tested hearts like a quiet observer in life's marketplace. But this woman, her kindness was not calculation. It was character. And for the first time since he arrived at this gate disguised by humility, Kayode felt nervous. Not from fear, from possibility. Because destiny wasn't always loud. Sometimes it arrived holding a food cooler and wearing a simple smile. The breeze that morning felt different, thicker, heavy like hidden words. Anita stepped out of the estate gate as usual, food cooler in hand. But today her smile carried weight. Kayode noticed instantly. "You're quiet today." She exhaled, adjusting her wrapper. "People talk too much." He didn't speak. He waited. "My sister," she started, voice slowing. She heard the estate women talking. "They said I'm wasting my future, spending time with a gate worker, that I should focus on where I'm going." Kayode's stomach tightened. He knew the world judged fast and deep. Anita continued, "My sister means well. She just wants the best for me. But," she sighed, "since when did respect become something only rich people deserve?" Kayode wanted to tell her who he truly was, wanted to remove the dust of judgment from her shoulders, wanted to say, "You are standing beside gold while they chase glitter." But tests don't work if you reveal the answer too early. "A good heart doesn't need audience," he said quietly. "Noise fades. Character stays." Anita studied him, thoughtful. "It's not the noise that bothers me. It's the pride, like dignity belongs to only one class." Kayode looked out at the estate. The tall palm trees, shiny walls, expensive cars. People confuse comfort with value. Silence, soft, understanding, shared. Then fate delivered another lesson. A well-dressed woman strolled toward them, heels clicking like tiny warnings. She scanned Anita from head to toe. "You again," she said, voice sharp. "Still here, chatting with gate staff? My dear, in this life, associate with your level, or you'll remain there." Anita smiled, not forced, not angry. Calm. "Thank you for the advice," she replied. "But character is my level." The woman scoffed and walked away. Kayode felt something shift again. Not outside, inside him. Respect, admiration, fear and hope wrapped quietly together. Later that day, at closing time, Anita returned with a small cooler. She handed it to him. "Fried rice. With chicken. Save the chicken for last." He laughed. She didn't know how much that meant. Laughter hadn't lived at the gate in a long time, but as she turned to leave, her steps slowed. "You know," she said, eyes softening, "I don't expect anything from you. I just respect you. I want you to know that." Kayode felt his heart thud, heavy, real, unfiltered. "Thank you," he said, voice steady but deeper. When she disappeared into the evening glow, he leaned back and exhaled. This wasn't just a test anymore. It was a crossroad. Reveal now and risk ruining pure sincerity. Wait longer and risk losing her to society's noise. But one thing was clear as dusk settled and estate lights blinked awake. Love born in humility has a strength riches can't buy. And soon, very soon, the world inside those fancy walls would see the truth behind the gate. A storm was gathering. Not the kind that destroys, the kind that reveals. 1 year later, the estate gate looked different. New paint, polished tiles, a bigger security booth, cameras, fresh flowers by the entrance. Everything neat, shining, quiet. But the biggest change wasn't the gate. It was the man now stepping out of the black SUV parked across the road. Kayode, except this wasn't the quiet gate worker in dusty boots. This man wore a tailored native outfit that seemed to hug authority. A wristwatch glimmered, subtle but rich. His shoes whispered wealth with every step. Behind him, 2 assistants waited near the car. The air shifted around him like presence, not pride. He stared at the gate, remembering each insult, each dismissal. Each moment he swallowed dignity to test hearts like an ancient African tale woven with patience and destiny. And in that memory came the opposite. The warm eyes, the food flask, the quiet loyalty. Anita. The sunlight caught his expression. Soft, grateful, steady. Inside the estate, a buzz had already started. People whispered. Phones shook in hands. Residents peeked through curtains. Is that the new chief investor? He looks important. He came with security. That car alone can buy 3 houses here. No one recognized him yet. Masks fall slowly in places built on pride. The gate officer on duty saluted nervously. Good afternoon, sir. You have an appointment? Kayode smiled. Yes, I'm here to see everyone. As he stepped forward, the estate's admin team rushed out. Their voices stumbled. Welcome, sir. We didn't know you were arriving today. You're the estate's new majority stakeholder, sir. He nodded once, calm. No arrogance. Thank you. Let's gather the residents. Word spread like fire. Within minutes, homeowners filled the park lot, dressed in wealth and curiosity. Anita arrived last, carrying a cooler as usual. Apron still tied, sleeves rolled up. Her eyes scanned the crowd. She wasn't there for gossip. She had come to drop extra snacks for the gate staff. She always remembered the ones who worked in the sun. Then she froze. Kayode turned. Their eyes met across the sea of whispers. Her breath trembled. He walked toward her slowly, each step confident yet humble, like a king returning home without wanting a throne. Kayode? She whispered. Residents gasped. Some blinked. Some covered their mouths. A woman in designer sunglasses stuttered. Wait, he's rich? The influencer's phone dropped. The snobbish housewife clutched her bag. The fitness woman paused mid-stretch. Kayode didn't look at any of them. His world narrowed to one person, Anita. You fed me when you thought I had nothing, he said softly.